Okay, so with the complication of dislocation of shoulder, the most important thing you should remember is this is recurrent dislocation. So if you they ask you the most overall most common complication is recurrent dislocation. There's a more chance of dislocation. So anybody who got a one dislocation of shoulder, so he is like every time he got a dislocation because once he got a dislocation of shoulder, there is obviously a muscle tear. So see this is a glenoid, okay, and this is a muscle and this is a muscle, okay. This is your humerus, okay. So if your humerus got dislocated, this means there would be a tear of this muscle, okay. There's a subscapularis tear, okay. Once the muscles got tear like this shape, okay. You see this is the muscles, okay. This is got dislocated, there is a tear in this area, okay. Once it is a tear in this area, it most of the time it got dislocated, every time it got dislocated. So it's very easy to get dislocated because muscle got injured and there is no fibrosis, there is no care. So once it's done, it's very easy to dislocate. So recurrent dislocation is the most common complication, okay. The second thing is most common earliest. If say somebody gone earliest, okay. So dislocation takes time. Like one you got dislocated, then the dislocation next dislocation will occur after 10 days or 15 days, or after 1 month or 2 months. Whenever you are very carefree, you are doing the same action, external rotation and abduction. But the earliest one is nerve injury. Okay, so axillary nerve is on near about shoulder. So axillary nerve and axillary artery. This axillary nerve is actually brachial plexus posterior cord. Okay, so somebody, if the examiner is very smart or something, they can ask not axillary nerve, they will ask which brachial plexus. So you just remember posterior cord is the importance. Okay, posterior cord. Okay, so because of posterior cord, so either posterior cord or axillary nerve. Then we'll after this, so we'll again go ahead. Okay, I hope you can. So, okay, so there are many type of relocation of shoulder. Okay, so this is something which you need in your to day routine. Even your friend, your family, or anybody can have this type of dislocation. You are at home, if night 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, and somebody get fall on in bathroom and they got dislocation of shoulder. So this thing is not only for exam purpose important, it is mainly for your day-to-day practice, okay, day-to-day life and day-to-day practice, okay. So this is something which is known as coachers, okay. So I had already used coacher word in one more area. It is mainly for posterior approach of hip, where you put this poking of the posterior part of buttock, that is coaching, okay. So coacher is the same thing. So this is coacher reduction, okay. So you just remember the team effort should be very important for reduction of the shoulder, okay. So team effort is main important, okay. So in team effort, this is known as, so you initially you give traction to the shoulder, okay, then you do this. Please don't do this, I don't know who is doing. If you're getting bored, at least see some web series, but don't do this. Take minute. Okay. So see, this is traction, okay. So initially you do give a traction to the shoulder, then you have external rotation. This is external rotation, okay. Then abduction, okay. So normally what happens is there's a four types of therapy. One is traction, so it is in line, okay, not like ek saath sare nahi karna. So first you apply traction, then you externally rotate the limb, okay. As soon as you external rotate, you do adduction like this, okay, and then medial rotation, okay. So traction, you just remember, if you don't remember this photo, you just remember team approach. For relocation of shoulder, you apply team approach, okay. Team approach is traction, external rotation, adduction, okay, and medial rotation. This is Stimson gravity. So any dislocation, whenever any dislocation happens, okay. So in any dislocation happen, the muscles get contracted, okay. So sometimes like if you see if any there's a dislocation now. So you see, this is your shoulder, okay. This is your humerus, okay. So if normal position is this, okay, if your humerus get dislocated to this area, okay. So here the muscles get contract. So this muscle will get a stretch, this muscle will get contracted, okay. So one muscle will get a stretch and one muscle will get contracted. So the best way is to relax the muscles. Once the muscles get relaxed, the joint will come automatically to their own place. So this is a type of Stimson gravity where where you use gravity. Okay, so you apply some weight on your hand. Okay, and just leave the shoulder, help with the help of gravity. So this kg of weight, whatever, 10 kg, 5 kg of weight, along with the gravity, start to pulling the muscles down. As soon as the muscles are pulling down, the muscles get relaxed. As soon as muscles get relaxed, the humerus will get relocated into their glenoid cavity. So this is a Stimson gravity. This happens in shoulder dislocation. The Stimson gravity is also in hip dislocation. So in hip dislocation also, the you will make the patient lie on the edge of the table. Okay, you start pulling it from down. Okay, by your hand or something. You cannot apply weight in hip, and one person will start pulling from upward. Okay, so this is Stimson gravity, where you use gravity as a force to relax the muscle. Okay, and do the dislocation. Then this is a Hippocratic manner. So like Hippocratic oath, it is very rude, and it is most commonly used in our day-to-day practice. Okay, so people try to do all this, but see, this is Stimson gravity. You have to keep patients for 10 minutes or 1 hour or half an hour, whatever. Okay, this sometimes does not come by this team approach. Okay, so this is something which you have to do by your own. You Hippocratic manner, it is very raw way, and you can see in emergency people are doing this. Okay, so what is this? There's a traction and counter traction method. As I already told you, traction acts with counter traction. Okay, so this doctor is a young orthopedic surgeon. Okay, is putting his foot on the axilla. Okay, it acts as a counter traction, so it will hold, it will stabilize the shoulder joint. So it acts as a counter traction and start pulling the hand. Okay, start pulling the arm, hand. Okay, so this is a traction and this act as a counter traction. Okay, so the main aim of traction is to relax your muscles. Once the muscles got relaxed, the joint will come automatically to his position. The second way of putting Hippocratic manner is you apply some what is a bed sheet or some towel in this manner. Some your assistant will pull from this area and you pull from this area. So this will act as a counter traction. It will stabilize your shoulder, and this will act as a traction. Okay, this should be a continuous steady force. After 3-4 minutes, it will easily get dislocated. So if you are in some marketplace or some roadside and there's a shoulder dislocation, this is the best method you can apply. You just apply some towel or bed sheet or any cloth, okay, into the shoulder. Let one person pull this side and you pull. You just apply traction. As soon as you apply traction, it will automatically relocate. Okay, so this is a very common method. So recurrent anterior dislocation. So this is the classical position of your dislocating shoulder. Okay. So this is external. This is abduction. Okay. This is abduction. You see 90-degree abduction. And this is external rotation. As soon as the external rotation increases, as soon as the posterior force increase, it will dislocate anteriorly. So this is a recurrent anterior dislocation type. It's the most common complication where external rotation abduction is usual mechanism of dislocation. So many times the drunk people, mainly in the drunk people, you will see this while sleeping, they usually do this type of, they keep their hand behind their head. Okay, and after a certain amount, okay, they dislocate because they don't know what is the last limit of keeping the external rotation into which position, because more external rotation gives normal pain to give pain to normal individual, but in drunk people they don't give pain. Okay, so there's a more dislocation in there. Okay, so these are 2-3 lesions. So every time you got dislocation of shoulder, okay, every time you got dislocation of shoulder, so there is a one bone which is known as glenoid, the other bone which is known as humeral head. So every time two bones dislocate, okay, there would be a friction between two bones, and there would be some problem either in the humeral head or the glenoid. So which are the complication of the recurrent anterior dislocation shoulder? We'll see. So see, this is a very beautiful. You just have to remember this picture. Okay, I don't know why it is important, but you have to remember. So if you see, this is a house, very beautiful. And the hill lies posteriorly to this house. The hill lies posteriorly and superiorly. Okay, so the hill lesions is always posterior and superior. Okay, so humeral head. So if you this is humeral head. Okay, so every time it dislocate, there is a problem in the humeral head. So humeral head, the problem is posterior and superior. Okay, so you see this one. So posterolateral surface. So see, this is your heel sac lesion. Okay, so every time your humerus get dislocated from this area na, this area will get compressed by the bone. Okay, this area. So this is lateral, superior and posterior. Okay, So this is heel sac lesion. So normally if you see normal joint, so normal joint should be like this. Normal joint ऐसा होता है. It should be circular. Okay. But every time it dislocate, there is a compression this area. ये area में compression होता है. Okay. So this area को, what is the location? This is very important. So this location is from medial it is lateral. This is superior. So superior, lateral, and from anterior posterior it is posterior. So it is a heel sac lesion. इसको heel की तरह बोलते हैं. So if you see this picture, okay, so this is posterior and superior, okay, and lateral. I don't know how you keep lateral. So every time, so this is the posterior. So if you see your body from posterior side, okay, so I will see. So if you see your body from posterior, so this is a posterior image, okay. So this cavity, okay, this is heel sac lesion. This cavity in this humeral head is heel sac lesion, okay. So they usually ask heel sac lesion where you found. So every time you dislocate, so in recurrent anterior dislocation, you found heel sac lesion. What is the location of the heel sac lesion? It is a posterior, superior, and lateral. Okay, so this you should remember that much. You can remember it is a PSL. Okay, so PSL, what is PSL? PSL is Pakistan Super League. Okay, like IPL, they have a PSL. So you can remember a PSL in hill. You can remember this Pakistan Superior League in hilly areas. What you can remember? I don't. Okay, so this thing. Okay, now go ahead. So this is a heel sac lesion. Okay, now there's a Bankart lesion. So there's a reverse heel sac lesion. Okay, so normally heel sac lesion is an anterior dislocation of shoulder, because anterior dislocation is most common type of dislocation. Recurrent anterior dislocation is also most common type of dislocation. But if sometimes there's a posterior dislocation, there is a reverse heel sac lesion. Okay, so normally, it's just opposite of that. So normally it is lateral, posterior, superior. Okay, so posterior, superior, lateral, ये anterior dislocation में होता है. अगर ये posterior dislocation में होगा, so it is a reverse heel sac lesion, and lateral की जगह ये medial हो जाएगा. Okay, posterior की जगह ये anterior हो जाएगा. So it is a anteromedial defect हो जाएगा. Simple बात. Just opposite of the same thing of heel sacs का opposite कर देना. Okay, so this is a reverse heel sac lesion. Okay. एक क्या हो गया? See, further arm reason. Sorry for the problem. Just go on. So reverse heel sac lesion. Okay. Now come ahead. So this is a Bankart lesion. So the other part of heel sac lesion is a Bankart lesion. You just remember this figure. This is a bank, okay, and you are seeing from second floor. So it is anterior to this your house, and it is inferior. So Bankart lesion is a lesion where it is an antero-inferior lesion. So normally, whenever happens, heel sacs is H for H. Okay. So heel sacs lesion, your heel sacs lesion occurs in humeral head. Okay. It is occurs in humeral head. Heel is PSL. Okay. So you just remember three things. So PSL, heel, humeral head. Okay. Now comes in the glenoid. So every time there is a dislocation, there is some problem in glenoid. So in glenoid, the problem is known as Bankart lesion. It is like a bank which is antero-inferior. So the antero-inferior portion, every time there is a dislocation, there is a problem in the labrum. So labrum is soft tissue. So sometimes this ligament, the labrum got injured, and sometimes there is a bone got injured. Okay. So depending upon either it is a soft or a hard. So if the bone get injured, it is a hard Bankart. If the ligament got injured, it is a soft Bankart. So normally Bankart, you remember the glenoid labrum or glenoid, there is an antero-inferior, there is a issue. That's known as Bankart lesion. Okay. So Bankart, so see this is your humeral head. Okay, this is your humeral head. Please don't draw lines here. Sometimes it irritates me. I know I have patience, but it irritates me. This is humeral head. Okay, this is humeral head. Okay, and this is the glenoid cavity. So in glenoid cavity में antero inferior, if there is a, this is bone का fracture हो गया, so this is known as bony Bankart lesion. While heel sacs lesion, if you consider heel sacs lesion, so this is the area of heel sacs lesion. So अगर यहाँ पे humeral compression हो रहा है, this is heel sacs lesion and this is a Bankart lesion. Okay, so it is Bankart lesion is antero inferior area. Okay, so it is stripping of glenoid labra and periosteum. You just remember the location. And Bankart occurs in glenoid labra, while H4H, heel sac lesion, occurs in the humeral head. Okay, so recurrent dislocation, the causes, why there is a recurrent dislocation, because every time that there is a dislocation, there is some issue, there is some defect in the bones, there is some defect in the bones or ligaments. So one is heel sac lesion, because there is a compression of the humeral head, it got dislocation. There is a Bankart lesion, there is a problem of the glenoid labra, and third is erosion of anterior glenoid labra. Okay, these are three causes of a recurrent dislocation. Now see, this is anterior shoulders test. Okay, so now anterior shoulder stability is how will you know your shoulder is stable or unstable? So it is anterior shoulder stability test. So this is very easy. You just remember the name. Okay, you don't have to perform this, but you have to remember the name. So you just remember anterior shoulder is for anterior shoulder stability. There is something known as drawer test. So what is your drawer? So every time you open your drawer, okay, so you will like pulling and pushing the drawer. Okay, so every time your aim is pulling and pushing of the drawer. The same issue occurs with this. So every time you stabilize your shoulder, one from one hand you stabilize your shoulder, the other hand you hold the humerus and you try to push and pull. You try to push and pull. So every time the action is like this. Every time the action is this, you push and then you pull. Okay, you push and pull. Then you have to do up and down. Okay, so you can measure the stability, that how much the movements are going on. So so you stabilize the shoulder, you pull and then you push. Okay, please don't do this. This is very childish act. Okay, please don't do this. It's all are very childish act. You are mature enough to not to do this childish act. Okay. So you stabilize the shoulder and you are pulling the humerus from the head. Okay. So every time you push and pull, this is the action of draw. You just remember the draw test. For anterior shoulder, it is anterior draw test. For posterior shoulder, it is posterior draw test. Now, what is apprehension test? So apprehension means it's a you got apprehension. Apprehension means like fear. So apprehension usual meaning is fear. Okay. So every time you do this position, okay, every time people do this position, this is external or an abduction rotation. So this is a face of fear. Okay. So every time they got fear that their shoulder will dislocate. Okay. So if once you got dislocated shoulder, okay, every time somebody do the external rotation and abduction in this position, you fear that again your dislocation would be there. Okay, so this is known as apprehension test. So it is a shoulder apprehension test. People do this apprehension test to look for the face. Okay, that's why the doctor looking the face of the patient, that the apprehension is there or not. Apprehension is there, that means there is a shoulder instability. Then there's a Job's relocation test. Okay, so here what happens in anterior dislocation? So whenever you do this type of position, the shoulder start coming out. Okay, so external rotation and abduction. If keep your shoulder in external rotation abduction, your shoulder try to dislocate anteriorly. Okay, when it try to dislocate anteriorly, you force from anterior and you see there is a relocation movement is there. So you do external rotation abduction, the shoulder will come like this. Okay, so I will show you this. So 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 if you consider this is a shoulder, humeral head. Okay, this is a glenoid. Okay, whenever you do anti external rotation abduction, your shoulder will come into this position. Okay, not dislocated, but you can say subluxated. Okay, and as soon as you press it, okay, as soon as you press it, it will come again into this position, and as soon as you leave, you come again into this position. So every time you push and leave, the movements are there. So this is known as a relocation test. So this is a check how you relocate the shoulder. So this is known as a Job's relocation test, or you can remember it's just a relocation test. This is a fulcrum test. So it's very for me it's difficult, but I will just read it for you. Okay. So it is like patient in supine position, okay, with scapula supported. Every time you have to support your scapula or shoulder, okay. By the arm is positioned into the same 90-degree in abduction with increasing external or it's same as apprehension test, okay. It's same as apprehension test, but it is in on lying down position. The shoulder, see, the shoulder apprehension says, you see, it is in sitting position with 90-degree of abduction and external rotation. The same he is doing in fulcrum test, but it is in the sleeping position, okay, where you have to keep the shoulder, keep your one arm in behind the shoulder, and you try to external rotate and see the face, okay. So with increasing external rotation, the examiner watches for apprehension. This is not a fulcrum test. So what are the treatment of so again we'll again go fast further. So a heel sacs lesion and okay, so recurrent and ये तो अपने को पढ़ा था. So recurrent is a heel sacs lesion. It is a PSL, okay, in humerus, Bankart anteroinferior glenoid labrum, okay. Then recurrent के causes है anterior shoulder के लिए this is normal drawer test where you do push pull, okay. Shoulder apprehension, you do external rotation, abduction, see the face, see the apprehension. Jobs relocation, every time it going to dislocate, you try to relocate, so it is a relocation test. Fulcrum test is the same test while lying down, okay. Now treatment of how will you treat the Bankart repair, okay. So Bankart repair and this what is the heel sacs lesion, they both get operated by arthroscopy. Any problem in shoulder, you do arthroscopy repair, okay. Arthroscopy is the ideal way of repair, where you go through arthroscope and repair, okay. There's two other operation, you just remember the muscle, okay. So one is a putty plat operation. So you in your homes, you apply this putty. Putty is something which is like cement ka ek part. Okay, I think it's boring. So putty, I think 10 more slides. Okay, 10 more slides. Okay, so putty plat of what is putty plat? It is a something in homes you can apply putty. Okay, over any what is a deficient area. Okay, so putty plat operation is subscapularis. So I will tell you how to apply subscapularis and all putty. So this is your humerus. Okay, so this is your humerus. Okay, this is your humerus. This is your glenoid. Okay, this is your glenoid. You think this is your anterior part. Okay, anterior part is subscapularis muscle. Okay, so sometimes there is anterior deficiency because of anterior dislocation, anterior deficiency. So पुट्टी प्लेट क्या करते हैं, हम लोग पुट्टी को ऐसे चिपकाते हैं. So we'll do, हम लोग क्या करते हैं, इस पुट्टी सब स्कैपुलरिस मसल को डबल ब्रेस्टिंग करते हैं. डबल ब्रेस्टिंग एक टेक्निक है where you tighten this muscle, okay, you tighten this muscle inside so that ki anteriorly you give more strength like a putty. So putty, you just remember putty, you just think कि anteriorly हमने putty लगाया है, तो सब scapularis का important है और हम लोग tight करते हैं उसको anteriorly, बस that is putty plat operation. Okay, you just remember. What is a Latarjet operation? You just remember the name. The coracoid process, see, I will show you, and then we'll go to Latarjet. So this is Latarjet operation. So coracoid, I already told you कि coracoid किधर होता है. तो coracoid एक normally बाहर आता है. तो क्या करते हैं, हम coracoid कट करते हैं and उसको glenoid के साथ चिपका देते हैं by screw. This is known as Latarjet operation. Okay. You just remember what happens. बहुत क्यों करते हैं? Why this is not important for you. So putty plat operation is सब स्कैपुलरिस को स्ट्रेंथन करते हैं. व्हाट इज ब्रिस्टो एंड लटार्जेट ऑपरेशन? यू कट कोराकोइड एंड यू स्टिक इट विद स्क्रूज इन द ग्लेनोइड. ओके, इसका मसल का ट्रांसफर होता है. दैट्स यू शुड रिमेंबर दिस. These operations are for recurrent dislocation of shoulder. Okay, because once you strengthen it, the dislocation chance will decrease. तो यहाँ पे क्या होता था, एंट्रो इन्फीरियरली प्रॉब्लम होता था, तो यू स्टिक इट सो दैट वो जो क्या बोलते हैं उसको बैंकाट रिपेयर हो जाता है. Now you come for posterior dislocation of cells. Now we all, abhi tak whatever we had studied, it is anterior dislocation. Now it is a posterior dislocation. Then posterior dislocation, the main MCQ you should remember is an electric shock. So sometimes while walking, if there's epilepsy, okay, if you have electric shock, there's a dislocation which is very rare. So it is a very rare type of dislocation and it is a posterior dislocation. Okay. Now the opposite force of whatever force, वहाँ क्या था, abduction and external rotation. So there is a abduction and external rotation in anterior. Okay, just opposite of this. So it is a adduction, it is a internal rotation. Posterior dislocation में just opposite है. Okay, whatever you do in anterior, it is just opposite of that. Okay, so abduction and external rotation, electric shock and epilepsy. Okay. So this is a posterior. So in posterior dislocation, there is three signs you have to remember is okay. The first sign you just remember is light bulb. Okay. So normal, see, this is the normal shape of your humerus. Okay. Normal अपना shape ऐसा रहता है. So you have this circular head ऐसा ऐसा and then यहाँ हल्का सा ट्रफ रहता है and then down रहता है. Sometimes because of posterior dislocation वो ऐसा turn कर जाता है. So see this shape, this shape, this is the shape. Okay. ये light bulb की तरह दिखता है. Okay. It look like light bulb. Okay, so in posterior dislocation, your humerus looks like a light bulb. A light bulb sign इसको बोलते हैं. So this is known as light bulb sign. Okay, in posterior dislocation. Then because of posterior dislocation, so a glenoid से ये बाहर निकल आता है. So glenoid now it become empty. Okay. So normally anterior में क्या होता है? Glenoid के आगे हो जाता है. So glenoid खाली दिखता नहीं है. It look like pre-glenoid और ऐसा. इसमें क्या है? पीछे चला जाता है. So now it glenoid will look empty. Okay. So this is normal. This is glenoid. This is head of humerus. Okay. So it get rotated and it looks like यहाँ light bulb की तरह दिखता है and glenoid looks empty. So it is empty glenoid sign. Okay. The third thing is rim sign. So because of dislocation, जो glenoid and humeral head के medial part में there should be a gap of more than 6 mm. This is known as rim sign. This is a rim sign. So three signs you can see in posterior dislocation. This is a rim sign where 6 mm का gap रहना चाहिए. Rim sign, this is 6 mm का gap रहना चाहिए. Then this is a light bulb. This is not a classical light bulb. Okay. This is a classical light bulb sign. Classical light bulb. Okay. And the third thing is empty or vacant glenoid sign. It is also known as trough sign. इसको trough sign भी बोलते हैं. So trough sign you remember trough sign or empty glenoid sign. Okay. Rim sign भी ये हो गया. Okay. Now posterior instability का same test है. So anterior instability you do drawer test होता है. Drawer में क्या करते हैं? Push pull करते हैं. Apprehension में external rotation abduction करते थे anterior में. इसमें भी same करते हैं. Okay. Only one test, jerk test is something different. Okay. So what is jerk test? So jerk test में क्या करते हैं? You just hold the leg, hold the elbow in 90 degree and again you hold this. So one hand should be stabilizing the shoulder. Okay. The other hand should be walk. So you stabilize the shoulder and from here you push it posteriorly. Okay. So if there is a posterior dislocation, yeah, posteriorly unstable रहेगा, so it will go posteriorly. So this is jerk test. Okay. Posterior drawer is the same thing. You just hold the shoulder one side. एक hand से इसको दोनों end को hold करते हैं and you do push pull ऐसा. So you hold the humerus with your thumb. You hold the posterior part of the humerus and from two fingers you hold the anterior part of humerus and you do anterior posterior force. So this is a posterior drawer test. This is a posterior apprehension test in opposite to what we had done in apprehension, anterior apprehension. This is adduction and internal rotation. Treatment of any dislocation, the treatment is the same. Retraction, give traction, it will relocate. Okay. This is an inferior dislocation. Okay, so inferior dislocation is very uncommon. It's not very common. It's very uncommon. Inferior dislocation where it goes into dislocation in there. It is because of hyperabduction injury. So if you try to do hyperabduction, in your own hand. Now we'll see if you do a hyperabduction. Inferiorly, there is no what is it? There is no support. Okay. So while you do hyperabduction, if there is axial force downward, okay. So normally people who are lifting heavy weights like either dumbbell or what is it, bags of goni or bags, okay. Okay, so while doing the hyperabduction, sometimes because of the weight of that either bags or that dumbbell, there is the downward force like this. So this is a downward force, okay. Inferiorly there is no support. So this force will leads to inferior dislocation. It is very uncommon, very rare. इसको luxatio erecta भी बोलते हैं. I don't know what it is, but it is something, some Italian name, luxatio erecta. Okay, this is inferior dislocation. Hyperabduction, salute position. So it is a salute position में हम लोग करते हैं, जो normal salute करते हैं. This is a sulcus sign. So this sign is important in inferior dislocation. So this is normal dislocation. As soon as it inferiorly dislocates, so ये जो shoulder के ये जो this contour होता है, this contour will disturb. Okay, this contour will be like this, ऐसा हो जाएगा. So as soon as the dislocation is there, okay, so normally the contour is this, okay. Because of dislocation, now the contour will become this, ऐसा हो जाएगा. And this is the sulcus. यहाँ देखो, this is the sulcus. ये sulcus होता है. People like to have sulcus there as a body. This is known as sulcus. It looks very appealing. Okay. Now come for clavicle fracture. So now this is 2 minutes of thing. Okay, so clavicle is very important thing, is very important in MCQ. So it is the most common fracture in Bachu. Okay, intramembranous, so it is a subcutaneous bone, you can feel the bone. Okay, so it is a intramembranous ossification. I told जो bone feel हो सकता है, that is because of intramembranous. Okay, it is a subcutaneous long bone. Okay, subcutaneous है. The fracture outstretched hand में होता है. Now see, this is, if this is sternum. Okay, this is sternum and this is your clavicle. Okay, this is your clavicle. Bas, this is 3-4 slides more. 3-4 slides more, then you'll do an MCQ. So always the fracture is on the outer side. Okay, so अंदर का 2/3 होगा, अंदर का 2/3 and outer का 1/3 होगा. Okay, this should be remembered. So clavicle fracture always away from the body होता है. So 2/3 and 1/3 का होता है. 2/3 and 1/3. Communicate malunion is very common. You just remember. Malunion क्यों होता है? क्योंकि इधर fusion तो हो ही सकता है. I can stop it, but problem is there is 3-4 slides more, and for this I have to again start. Okay, and I had prepared it for last 3-4 hours, so I can complete it. Okay, so clavicular fracture हो गया आपका. So this is a clavicular fracture का treatment याद रखना, figure of 8 होता है. So this is a belt which is a figure of 8 के figure में होता है. You see the police officers and big police officer wearing this type of for guns and all that. So this is a figure of 8. Okay, so it's like a figure of 8 ऐसा रहता है, figure of 8 बोलते हैं इसको. तो ऐसा ये इधर से बांधा हुआ है and then it go posteriorly and it turns like this. Okay, so it is a figure of 8 for clavicle fracture. This is sling. So sling is always for, sling is there and figure of 8. So remember figure of 8. Okay, malunion is very common because reduction is not easy. Okay, because the muscles are pulling in and out. So malunion is there. Surgery is only if there is an injury, then you can do. So every nerve and vessels got injured, you have to repair it. Okay, which nerve and which vessels can get injured? Ulnar nerve is most common. Okay, because first rib के नीचे ulnar nerve होता है. So you just remove ulnar nerve. Most common complication malunion. Okay, malunion is the most common complication. Okay, now go again. This is a proximal humerus fracture. So humeral have 4 part. Okay, so the same thing, the same lady falling this way. Okay, outstretched hand में there is a 4 part. You just remember humeral head होता है, एक बड़ा greater trochanter होता है, एक छोटा lesser trochanter होता है, एक neck होता है. So there is a 4 type of 4 fracture. Okay, there is a classification which is NEER. Okay, so in South India you have NEER dosa. Okay, so the same NEER. Okay, NEER dosa wala. Okay, this NEER has given this classification of humerus fracture. So अगर 2 part का fracture है, so it is a 2 part, 1 part, 2 part, 3 part, 4 part. Depending upon the number of fracture, it is per part. It is a 4 part means 4, 3 parts means 3, 2 parts means 2. Okay, it's simple. Okay, depending upon which is more fracture. So greater tuberosity fracture तो GT fracture बोलते हैं. LT fracture है तो lesser tuberosity fracture बोलते हैं. Surgical neck fracture है तो surgical neck fracture बोलते हैं. And depending upon what is fractured. Okay. Now see, so if your whole 4 parts are fractured, okay, and you had already known कि जब भी neck fracture होता है, there is a chances of AVN because the blood supply goes through neck. So AVN chances are maximum with 4 part. 4 part में neck के साथ वो चारों fracture होते हैं. So obviously more fracture, more chances of AVN. Okay. In 2 part में the anatomical neck. Okay, so neck fracture is always, you should remember neck fracture is the most common cause of AVN. कहीं का भी, चाहे वो hip हो and all that. On anatomical neck, not surgical. जो एनाटॉमी के अकॉर्डिंग नेक है. सो नेक का डिफिनेशन बाया एनाटॉमी है जहां से ब्लड वेसल्स पास करते हैं. कंजर्वेटिव, यू डू कंजर्वेटिव, यू अप्लाई दिस. ओके, नाउ यू सी ऑपरेटिव. सो ऑपरेटिव में क्या कर सकते हैं? यू कैन रिप्लेस दिस. ओके, दिस इज शोल्डर रिप्लेसमेंट. यू कैन पुट ए प्लेट, इसको प्लेट बोलते हैं. ओके, इसको प्लेट बोलते हैं, फिलोस प्लेट बोलते हैं. फिलोस का मतलब होता है प्रॉक्सिमल ह्यूमरस प्लेटिंग. ओके, प्लेटिंग बोलते हैं इसको. You can apply K wire also. So K wire भी apply कर सकते हैं. Okay. Complication is nerve and muscle damage. Okay. So nothing to more. So एक बार इसको बस देख लेने का. If you confused, then see one side. So अगर if there's total fracture, 4 part fracture, you replace it. 4 part fracture है, बड़े से replace कर दो. 2-3 part fracture है, you put this plate. Okay. 1 या 2 part fracture है, simple है, then you put K wire. Okay. Complication, shoulder stiffness. You just remember stiffness is there. Okay. Now humerus shaft fracture. So ये shaft का fracture होता है. So type of fracture है depending upon the. Obviously I told you U slab and hanging cast and U slab. Okay. This is functional brace for humerus fracture. सर्जरी कैसा करते हैं ह्यूमरस फ्रैक्चर का? यू कैन पुट नेल्स, दीज आर द नेल्स, इंट्रामेडुलरी नेल्स, दीज आर द प्लेट्स. ओके, इंडिकेशन क्या है ना? न्यूरोवास्कुलर इंजरी है. सो ह्यूमरस का एक चीज इंपॉर्टेंट है, ये जस्ट रिमेंबर दिस थिंग. सो ह्यूमरस के मिड शाफ्ट, ये दिस इज द लास्ट स्लाइड, सो थोड़ा कंसंट्रेट करो इस पर. So this is a type of humerus shaft fracture. So this is humeral, proximal humerus का fracture का मतलब क्या हुआ? Proximal humerus का मतलब हुआ जहाँ पे this is a GT LT खत्म हो गए. So GT LT, GT हुआ, LT हुआ, ये neck हुआ, यहाँ फ्रैक्चर हुआ तो proximal humerus हुआ, यहाँ हुआ तो distal humerus हुआ. इसके बीच में सारा shaft fracture होता है. ओके, तो shaft में क्या होता है? It can be mid third, lower third and upper third. Okay, so जब भी लोअर थर्ड फ्रैक्चर होते हैं, सो इफ दे फ्रैक्चर इज लोअर थर्ड, ओके, जैसे यहाँ फ्रैक्चर होता है, सो नॉर्मली रेडियल नर्व जो होता है ये लोअर थर्ड में से क्रॉस होता है. सो नॉर्मली रेडियल नर्व क्रॉस लाइक दिस इन द लोअर थर्ड. सो इफ द लोअर थर्ड फ्रैक्चर होता है, सो रेडियल नर्व बहुत कॉमन इंजर्ड होता है, एंड दिस फ्रैक्चर इज नोन एज होल्स्टीन. आई विल शो यू व्हाट इज द नेम. So it is known as Holstein-Lewis fracture. Okay, so ये नाम ये important है. So radial nerve injury in distal third of humerus. Distal third of humerus में radial nerve का injury होता है, इसको बोलते हैं Holstein-Lewis fracture. ठीक है, इतना जानो. I think, and because of the gravity, because the humerus में क्या होता है? Humerus में gravity होता है. So if you see this, okay, you see this, so there is a gravity. So ये नीचे पुल करता है और ये ऊपर पुल किया हुआ है. So because of this there is a chances of non-union. Okay, there is a chance, more chances of non-union यहाँ पे होता है. So more chances of non-union is there. Okay, the complication and everything is there. So it is known as Holstein-Lewis fracture, most common nerve fracture. ये nerve का सर्जरी तुम्हें बता दिया, तुम्हें nail plate, ये this all you know. Humeral shaft most commonly middle third होता है. Humeral shaft most common is middle third. Most common अगर distal third होगा, most commonly this is middle third. If the fracture is here, okay, and here there is nerve crossing, so if it is distal third, the radial nerve is more common. Okay, middle third पे nerve injury common नहीं है, but most commonly middle third होगा. ये हो गया. I think that's all. If you want to ask anything, you can ask. Okay. This plate का name मैं बता देता हूँ, इसका name बहुत important है. It is very easy to